Chapter 1. End of the Dream. Good evening. What's going on here? Irie's voice hung in the night air, softer than he intended, yet heavy enough to cut through the tension crackling around him. Bianca flinched at the sound of his voice. She didn't look up. Instead, her fingers tightened around the hem of her dress, her breathing shallow. At her feet, suitcases sat neatly packed, small and rigid, like final nails in a coffin. Something was wrong. Irie's heart pounded, his grip tightening around the strap of his guitar. He took a step closer, forcing a smile that didn't quite reach his eyes. "Bianca?" His voice was softer this time, cautious. She exhaled shakily. When she finally spoke, her words were quiet but razor-sharp. "Irie, I'm sorry, but this isn't working out." The world seemed to tilt beneath him. He blinked, the words hitting like an unexpected blow to the gut. "What?" Her shoulders tensed. She still wouldn't need his gaze. "My parents, they've made a decision," she said, voice steady now, almost mechanical. Irie let out a hollow laugh, glancing around at the silent figures behind her. Her father, Calvin Blake, standing stiff and unreadable. Her mother, lips pressed into a thin line. Her younger siblings, barely moving. His chest tightened. "They've made a decision?" His gaze snapped back to Bianca. "And you? What do you want?" Bianca's fingers curled into fists at her sides. For a second, he thought she might say something different, something real. But then, she took a deep breath and sealed it. "I agree with them." The air left his lungs. He staggered a step forward, searching for her face. No, that's not you say." Bianca swallowed hard. "Irie, please." "Please what? Just accept this? Walk away like none of it mattered?" His voice cracked. "Tell me to my face, Bianca. Tell me this is what you really want." Finally, she looked up, and in that moment, he saw it. The hesitation, the regret, the part of her that was still his. But then she blinked, and it was gone. Her father stepped forward, his presence thick with authority. "You've overstayed your welcome, young man," Calvin said, his voice smooth, indifferent. "It's time to go back to where you came from." Irie barely spared him a glance. His eyes stayed locked on Bianca. "Is this because I don't have money, isn't it?" His voice was quieter now, raw. Bianca winced. Her silence was answer enough. "You're broke, Irie." Her voice came soft, finally. "You have no money, and music." She let out a humorless laugh. "Music can't pay the bills around here." The words crushed him, squeezing his lungs like a vice. He swallowed, his throat dry. "So that's it?" Bianca looked away. He let out a sharp breath, a bitter smile twitching at his lips. "I should have known." He shook his head. "All those times you told me you believed in me. All those nights I played for you. None of it meant a damn thing, did it?" "Irie, don't." "Don't what?" His voice was suddenly calm, eerily calm. "Don't tell the truth?" He let out a hollow laugh. "You were always living in their world. I was just a visitor." Bianca's face crumpled for a second. Just a second. Then she pulled herself back together. Calvin sighed, impatient now. "Your things are packed. Don't make this harder than it needs to be." Irie exhaled through his nose. His gaze drifted to the suitcases, then back to Bianca one last time. She didn't move. She didn't speak. There was nothing left to say. Irie bent down, grabbed a handle of his battered suitcase, and straightened. His fingers curled tight around the worn leather. Without another word, he turned and walked away. The wrought iron gate swung shut behind him, with a hollow clang, echoing into the night. The streets of Kingston. The city was alive, horns blaring, voices rising in laughter, bass-heavy dance hall rhythms shaking the pavement. But Irie barely noticed. He dragged his suitcase behind him, his guitar pressing against his back, a familiar weight that suddenly felt heavier than ever. Bianca had thrown him away, not because she didn't love him, because he didn't have money. His jaw tightened. She was wrong. She had no idea what kind of fire burned inside him. Lifting his chin, he kept walking. One day, this city would know his name, and Bianca would regret ever letting him go. The Blake Mansion. Laughter filled the grand dining hall, glasses clinking, conversations flowing like smooth wine. Calvin Blake stood at the head of the table, raising his glass. "Family, friends, I thank you all for being here tonight." A wave of polite applause rippled through the gathering. Calvin smiled, but there was no warmth in it, just satisfaction. This achievement would not have been possible without the support of a dear friend, someone who will soon become part of this family. The room hushed in anticipation. Mr. Roger Sinclair has set his eyes on one of my daughters, and from what I can see, a wedding is on the horizon. Just as he spoke, the distant hum of approaching engines grew louder. Moments later, a convoy of sleek, high-end vehicles pulled up outside the mansion. The doors swung open. Roger Sinclair stepped inside. A man of 42, his presence commanding, his broad frame draped in a perfectly tailored navy suit. His bald head gleamed under the chandelier light, his sharp eyes scanning the room with quiet calculation. The scent of his cologne, rich, heavy, possessive, clung to the air as he stepped forward. He exhaled slowly, savoring the moment. Then, with a smirk, his deep voice rumbled through the room. "Now, where is my beautiful wife to be?" Elsewhere in Kingston, far from the chandeliers and polished floors of the Blake mansion, Irie stood beneath a flickering street lamp, gripping his suitcase. His money was nearly gone, just enough to get him halfway to St. Mary. If he was lucky, he could sell his guitar to cover the rest of the fare. He exhaled a slow, weary breath. No more illusions, no more dreams of Bianca. Then, just as he took a step forward, a voice called out from the shadows. "Irie, is that you?" His breath hitched. That voice, deep, familiar, laced with disbelief. He turned slowly, his pulse thrumming in his ears. And there, beneath the streetlight, was someone he never expected to see again. A ghost from his past. One that could change everything. Chapter 1. End of the Dream.